Welcome to this special edition of County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Throughout this year, we have brought you stories that give information about all that is happening in Montgomery County. Today, we take you on a journey through some of those stories that define 2012 in our county. We will start with the executive's six-year fiscal year 2013 capital budget and capital improvements program. The $4.2 billion budget seeks a balance between meeting capital construction priorities and the ongoing need to put the county's fiscal house in order.
Let's look at the context.
With a preamble that some difficult choices were made, Executive Leggett unveiled a capital budget that reflects the county's priorities in education, public safety, economic development, transportation, affordable housing, and the environment.
When you look at the budget today, it is by about 7% less than we've had in the previous years, which means that we can do less. And we've had to scale back some projects to defer some. But having said that, we maintain the top priority for us, which is the school budget.
The budget maintains the previously approved modernization schedule for elementary schools. The Board of Education requested significant increases in funding for countywide infrastructure projects. All requested projects are recommended for County Council approval.
We are providing some additional space for elementary schools and for one middle school. And we will hold back on some future modernization, but there are two schools in this CIP that we are delaying for an additional year. Keep in mind that it costs almost $100 million, if not in excess of $100 million, for a modernization of a high school. For us to do that would mean that we would have to either crowd something else out in order to make room for that, and that becomes very difficult.
The recommended budget also includes funding for construction of a new Dennis Avenue Health Center in Silver Spring. To view the entire FY13 capital budget, visit montgomerycountymd.gov/OMB. Now we go to Annapolis, where this year Governor Martin O'Malley addressed the General Assembly in his annual State of the State. It was an optimistic speech where the governor pushed for his proposed budget initiatives. Governor O'Malley pushed his proposed budget while addressing legislators. A tough sale when he's looking at establishing a 6-cent gas sales tax, increasing tax rate for higher earners, and shifting teachers' pension costs to local jurisdictions.
With tough but fiscally responsible choices, we are moving our state forward out of an era of recession, foreclosure, and job loss, and into a new era of job creation and greater opportunity for all. We have not yet recovered all the jobs that we lost during the Bush recession, but we are moving forward steadily.
For Montgomery County, absorbing part of the teachers' pension cost means an additional $47 million to the already existing deficit of $135 million for the next fiscal budget.
The teacher pension still is a challenge for us in Montgomery County. It will hit us, at least in the first year, to the tune of $47 million. That is something we simply cannot afford. I agree with the governor on the gasoline tax. I agree with the governor on gay marriage. I agree with him on a variety of things that he's advocated. I just think that the teacher pension shift is simply unacceptable.
The governor still has a lot of convincing to do among lawmakers, and the Montgomery County delegation has many challenges to address.
I think what you're going to see is hopefully a discussion of what are the impacts of the state, why is the governor proposing what he's proposing, trying a better understanding of how it might impact our county government and our school system, and see if there isn't some sort of compromise that we can't come to.
The governor addressed the need for new revenues and asked lawmakers to make tough choices regarding several tax increases in order to generate and save jobs.
Well, making sure that we hold the accountable, the one-stop centers with the budget that they have, and making sure we support them to the fullest extent that we possibly can. And the governor in the past years has made sure that we've done that.
During that legislative session, the governor signed into law 3 items that later ended up in the ballot: the Maryland Dream Act, equality of marriage, and gaming in the state. The 3 were approved by voters on Election Day. Also from Annapolis, a bill passed by the House of Delegates that could have allowed Dry Damascus to start selling alcohol, but the bill wasn't met without opposition. Susan Kennedy brought us the story behind the alcohol prohibition in Damascus.
Folks in Damascus have voted 4 times in the last 35 years to uphold the prohibition. The last time the community voted was in 1996, and it was only a few hundred votes short of getting the ban lifted. This time it was the work of an Eagle Scout that revived the issue.
We actually gave them some history information, found out the exact history behind it and that it needed to be a referendum, gave that information back to the student. From what we understand, the student transmitted that information to the community. The community then contacted their state representatives and asked for it to be put on the ballot. You want to talk about community in action, this is it right here.
Jay Traverso wants to see the ban lifted for the simple reason of economic development.
Damascus has always had a problem because of the situation with not being able to have alcohol sales here. We can't bring restaurants. Without restaurants, you won't see other stores. When you go into the town area, you'll notice a lot of empty buildings. Other areas would be ideal for redevelopment at this point.
Traverso and others who want to see the ban lifted are getting another chance. A bill that would put the question to voters in November passed both the House and Senate during this year's General Assembly session.
A lot of them get tired of driving elsewhere to have a good meal out with perhaps a white tablecloth restaurant with a glass of wine, light wine, not fortified, and beer, sitting down at the table. About 30 people came to me, we met at their home, and I said yes, I'd put in the bill.
Randy Scritchfield led the repeal the last time it came before the voters in '96. He says there are lots of misconceptions associated with bringing beer and wine to Damascus.
My regret on this issue is that it gets demagogued and misportrayed, and this bill will not allow package stores. It will not allow liquor. It must be beer and wine consumed on the premises when eating food, and I think that's palatable and something that the community is ready for.
But many of the residents in Damascus say they want their community to stay just as it is.
With those things comes industry that will take over the community feel.
We like things just the way they are. Everything's nice and simple. If you want to go for wine or beer or anything, you don't have to go that far. So we're happy with the way things are.
When we come back, the county will be able to amend its charter to give hiring preference to persons with disabilities. And local students implemented a program to feed the needy. We'll be right back.
Going shopping this holiday season? Coming up with the perfect gift for everyone on your list isn't easy. It takes a lot of creativity to get the right gift for the right person. But when you find the perfect gift, don't add to your holiday stress. Be prepared when you stop to shop. You don't have to be this creative. Be sure to bring your reusable bags. Bring your bag. Fight litter.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Thank you for staying tuned to this special edition of County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili, and we're showcasing the events that made 2012 such an amazing year. The county executive called it a no-brainer and insisted that it was time for the county to step up in developing a program for hiring individuals with disabilities. With that, County Council approved to amend the charter to give hiring preference to persons with physical and mental disabilities. During a press event, the county executive stressed that it was about giving residents a voice on the matter, allowing voters to decide if the county could amend its charter in order to grant hiring preference to persons with disabilities.
This is an issue that is well overdue, and what we were simply asking was for us to have the right to ask the citizens of Montgomery County to give us the legal authority once and for all to do this.
It is now up to County Council to approve the executive's resolution so that it appears on the November ballot. Council members Phil Andrews and Craig Rice are already on board, attesting that the measure would address the high rates of unemployment and underemployment of disabled individuals.
We need to tap the talents that so many members of our community who have disabilities have. We have many wounded warriors who are coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, or coming back from Afghanistan with serious injuries and lifetime issues in terms of disabilities, but who are fully able to do many positions that our citizens would benefit from.
In Montgomery County, the labor force is of approximately 500,000 residents. Only 14,000 individuals with disabilities are actually employed.
Providing employment also helps integrate this often invisible constituency into the fabric of our society. By becoming our coworkers, neighbors, and friends, the quality of their lives and the quality of the lives improve as we go together in a diverse and enriched society.
And county voters overwhelmingly approved the measure. The Rockville Police Department has a brand new state-of-the-art headquarters located in the heart of Rockville. And Bridget Breuer was there when the doors opened.
The ribbon was cut, the plaque unveiled, and now Rockville has a brand new state-of-the-art police station located right in the heart of downtown. First envisioned in 2005, the headquarters was a special venture because it combined the historic old post office with the addition of a new 14,000 square foot annex building in an urban setting. It's a project Rockville's mayor and council are proud to say is complete.
We've merged the two. I think that's marvelous to bring the old and the new together and have something spectacular for the city. So we've got a police department now that not only is the finest as far as our personnel, but they have the best equipment and the best location to work.
They have for so long been waiting for and working under some very difficult conditions, waiting for a facility like this that they badly deserve.
It's great to bring our officers out of the basement and into the community where they do so much good work, right in the middle of our town center, and very visible and being able to be right on it. So it's great.
The $8.9 million project will accommodate the current department while allowing for 10% growth.
It costs a lot, but it's worth a lot, and it's a great facility.
You got to remember the federal government just gave us the site, so that was free. Federal government, state government chipped in together for about $500,000. The city provided the rest through a bond bill, and that's how it got financed.
We wanted to point out that there's significance to the color green that's seen in the beacon out front of the post office and the green lettering of the annex sign. Police Chief Terry Treshik explains.
Police officers had a green lantern or a green sign outside the building to show that that's where the night watchman was, that's where the vigilance was, and it also became your island of safety.
And now the new police station is a centrally located island of safety for the city of Rockville.
We have a terrific police department. One of the main reasons the city government exists is to provide excellent police service above and beyond what Montgomery County already provides us. So it's absolutely one of the most important things that the city government does, and this beautiful new building, this beautiful new home for the department really reflects that.
To learn more about the new station, visit rockvillemd.gov/police.
A news report that touches this year was one to be imitated nationwide. Students from the University of Maryland participate in a food recovery effort every night in order to feed the hungry in our community. Susan Kennedy brought us this inspiring story.
Hey Mia, can I go ahead? Should I put this in here?
If it's both chicken.
The numbers were too staggering to ignore. More than 60,000 pounds of food.
This looks like some yellow rice
at the University of Maryland was going to waste on an annual basis.
This looks like chicken with some vegetable sauce.
Students Ben Simon and Mia Zavali decided to do something about it, so they founded the Food Recovery Network.
Basically, we knew that there was a tremendous need in the DC area for this food. You know, food is precious, and there's absolutely no reason for that food to go to waste if it doesn't have to. So we knew that volunteers would be up for it, and it was pretty much a no-brainer.
The Food Recovery Network collects the leftover food from the university dining halls and sports events that would otherwise be thrown away.
Prior to the Food Recovery Network, all of this delicious food here would either have been composted or sent to a landfill.
And they bring it to local homeless shelters, food banks, and other nonprofits. In its first year, the group donated more than 50,000 meals.
And at first they said that there wasn't any food at all that was thrown out, but then we saw that there was. So we kept pushing them, kept asking. Now, when we come in, they're so happy to see us.
The group consists of a network of different student groups, each with an assigned night to recover and deliver food. Currently, there are more than 200 student volunteers who donate their cars and use their own gas so they can be a part of the movement.
I honestly don't mind helping people out. Just one night a week is not really a lot to ask.
But what would make you choose doing something like this over, hanging out with your friends?
I can give up one night to hang out with my friends in college. There's going to be plenty of those, but to help people out that need the help, it's really a good thing to do.
Each night when the dining halls close at the University of Maryland, group members are on task packaging up leftovers and carting it to locations like the Christian Life Center, a Riverdale-based church and ministry.
Okay, welcome to Christian Life Center. We're going to go ahead and grab these trays, right, Mia? I think the real truth right now is that the need is everywhere. Now, there are greater needs of different, levels, but everybody has a need right now. Yesterday when we had a food distribution, we literally saw our whole parking lot lined up from people that, were, poor, and everyone needs help right now. And I'm just so proud of them. I'm just so grateful to be a part of what they're doing.
Both Simon and Zavali say they are committed to a future in food recovery and would love to see the movement take off nationally. These college seniors say their ultimate goal would be zero food waste on college campuses.
But this is really preparing us for our career.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Pat.
Appreciate it.
This project, the skills that we're learning outside the classroom has, in my opinion, been more beneficial than what we're learning sitting in a lecture hall.
Thank you so much for what you do.
When we come back, this year the county launched its first ever Spanish language radio show. Stay tuned.
This season, don't let a holiday celebration become a tragedy. If you're drinking, designate a driver. If anyone in your party has had too much to drink, see that they get a ride home with someone sober or call them a taxi. If you need a ride home, call Sober Ride at 800-200-TAXI. Sober Ride will give you a free ride home up to a $30 fare. For more information on taxi service in Montgomery County, go to our website at montgomerycountymd.gov.
Welcome back to this end of the year special edition of County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. We're bringing you the stories that made headlines this year. No doubt, the Hispanic population in the county is fast growing. According to the 2010 census, almost 200,000 residents in Montgomery County are Latino. In an effort to inform that sector, this year the county launched Montgomery AL Dia, or Montgomery Today, a Spanish language radio show.
Muy buenas tardes y bienvenidos a Montgomery al Día. Buenas tardes, querida Madeline Portalatín, quien va a estar...
Montgomery AL Dia, or Montgomery Today, becomes the county's newest tool to reach out to the fast-growing Hispanic community.
Well, we're fortunate in Montgomery County to have so many people from literally all around the world who've made Montgomery County home. And a large portion of that is our Latino community. And so this program will allow us to reach a broader level of participation of our community. I think that it's a wonderful venue. We can have people with constant dialogue, a wonderful station that I think will have an asset to all of us. So I look forward to many more months and years of community service through a broad communication base that I think we have here with WACA.
The weekly show will take place live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. and it will involve interviews, PSAs, and public call-ins with a collaboration of county departments and county council.
Budget as I send it over to you.
That was going to be my question.
The inaugural show took place with appearances of the county executive, Department of Environmental Protection Director Bob Hoyt, and Recreation Director Gabe Albornoz.
The Department of Recreation is thrilled to be participating in this effort because radio is an important medium in the Latino community and a lot of people get their information through radio. And so this is a great opportunity for us to let the community know about all the wonderful programs and services they have that they pay for as county taxpayers and that we hope they take advantage of.
You know, we're very excited about this. We really try to reach out to the Latino community. We need help in all our programs, in our recycling programs, in our stream cleanup programs, all our litter programs, and we really need an avenue to be able to reach out to that community.
The show will also have a television component. Montgomery AL Dia will be recorded live on tape at the Radio America studios and broadcasted every week on County Cable Montgomery.
Los dos comités tienen responsabilidad para asegurar vivienda para personas pobres y sin hogar.
Councilmember George Leventhal called in during the first show, expressing support and future collaboration. To listen to the live broadcast of Montgomery AL Dia every Tuesday at 2 p.m., visit radioamerica.net. To view archived television shows, visit montgomerycountymd.gov. Thousands of people visited Montgomery County for their Silver Dogs Film Festival opening night at the AFI in Silver Spring. A documentary about a well-known rock band packed the house, and my MC Media's Sonia Burke was there for the red carpet, star-studded event.
Opening night featured the DC premiere of Don't Stop Believing, Every Man's Journey, a documentary about the discovery of Journey's new lead singer.
To open Silver Dogs is very humbling because it's such a prestigious documentary festival, so it's really an honor.
Features this wonderful young man, Arnel Pineda, who was plucked out of obscurity to become the new lead singer of Journey.
It was Journey guitarist Neil Schon who discovered the band's new singer on YouTube.
I pulled up a link and he was singing some Survivor song, and then I heard some Zeppelin, and I heard Sting, I heard, some Steven Tyler, I heard some Heart, I heard like everybody, he did everybody. And he was pretty much of a chameleon and nailing everything. And I was like, this is uncanny. I've never heard a singer be able to go in so many different places. And very soulfully, So then I heard our stuff and I was like, this guy's crazy. I have to get a hold of him.
It's a modern Cinderella story. And I think it works because the guy they found is really golden.
I think the movie conveys a very strong, powerful message, that nobody should stop believing ever, because you'll see when you see the movie where Arnel came from and where he is now and where we're heading.
Neil said Arnel has added a lot more than just his voice to the band.
He's made us, better people, I think. Seeing where he's come from, and I've gone over there to Manila to do benefit with him with Katy Perry before, and went and handed out food to villages and with homeless people, and it was very moving for me.
Journey fans said they loved the movie.
Oh, I totally loved it. I thought it was a fantastic film, very well done.
I love them, and I've always loved them, so it makes it better.
Favorite Journey song?
Don't Stop Believing.
In Silver Spring, I'm Sonia Burke reporting.
When we come back, a Montgomery College professor brought his ideas to life in a mural. And the Music Center Strathmore rocked with salsa and merengue while MCPS students did their best during the Latin dance competition.
The William E. Cross Foundation has awarded Montgomery College a grant that will provide scholarships for MC students in financial need. Scholarships will benefit veterans choosing any major, plus students majoring in business, computer science, paralegal, or criminal justice studies. Montgomery College math professor John Hammond has been named Maryland Professor of the Year by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching and the Council for Advancement and Support of Education. This marks the fourth consecutive year an MC professor has received this prestigious award. And MC Professor Sharon Fechter has been named President-elect of the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese. She is the first community college professor to be elected president of the association.
Welcome back to the Best of County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Our show today highlights some of the stories that touched us in 2012. We had dozens of wonderful stories from Montgomery College this year, but this one brought together science and arts. A professor created a one-of-a-kind mural in a hallway in the Germantown campus, a piece that will be there for posterity.
The image that I'm creating is entitled Bird in Hand, Second Line for Michigan. And the drawing is 9 feet by 20 feet in scale. I chose the title for this piece, Bird in Hand, for double reasons. Bird in Hand is the nickname that many people from Michigan has given it because the shape of the major portion of Michigan is shaped like a mitt. I created this idea that's coming out of my New Orleans background, which is this concept of the dirge in the second line, which is a jazz funeral. And in that context, the jazz musicians would come out and they would play a slow, mournful tune for someone that has passed away. And after the person is laid to rest, that music would transform from being a mournful tune into a celebratory one, which would be considered called the second line. The second line is a complicated idea. The second line alludes to the first line is the family that's closely associated with the person that's been lost. The second line is the people that gird that person or gird that first line, and they kind of follow behind. But it has a spiritual meaning too as well. The first line conceptually is our life here on this earth. But when we die and we translate from this world into the afterworld, that afterworld is considered to be the second line or the second life. When people engage this work, I'm hoping that they will see the pain, the hurt. I'm hoping they will see that despair. But I want them to see the other side of it. I want them to see the hope. I want them to see the joy. I want them to see the love. I want to see the communal togetherness coming together of different cultures, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, joining together, banding together, and making one harmonious tune. You know, making one harmonious or joyful noise together, collectively, you know, in the streets, processing through the community and spreading joy and love and hope there.
And for the 13th year in a row, dozens of students from 11 MCPS high schools took part of a Latin dance competition at the Strathmore. With hundreds of parents and peers cheering, the dancers took the stage with the best spirit in competition and Hispanic heritage.
We love to dance!
Dozens of talented MCPS students from 6 MCPS high schools had an opportunity to showcase their dancing skills during the 13th annual MCPS Latin Dance Competition that took place at the Music Center at Strathmore. The competition is sponsored by the After School Dance Fund, whose mission is to build strong Latin dance clubs in MCPS and promote health, exercise, cultural awareness, and unity through Latin dance education.
Latin dance education has become the means for kids to really socialize, to get to know each other, to respect each other better. There's team building in it, conflict resolution. It's not just learning how to dance, not to mention the cultural aspects of it.
Hundreds of MCPS students, families, and community members packed the Music Center to cheer for their favorite dance teams and celebrate Latino heritage.
Well, family is important in the Hispanic culture, and just an opportunity to celebrate our culture and our bond with our children is amazing. This is just an awesome way to introduce what we value into the MCPS culture.
Salsa, cha-cha, merengue, and bachata. These were just some of the exciting styles of Latin dances on display during the event. While the students from the Albert Einstein High School Latin Dance Team won the overall Best in Show award, for the coaches and student dancers who prepared over several months for the big event, being a part of the competition and their respective dance groups has taught them much more than just how to dance.
I realized how we were just one big group that shared the same passion for dance, and we learned all about our roots.
Dancing itself allows students to express themselves that words really can't do. Personally, I've become more in touch with my roots.
We get to showcase who we are culturally in a very positive way. They become leaders, they become more mature, responsible, and like the other kids have mentioned, they get more united and they look out for each other a lot more.
And on that note, we close this special edition of County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. We will return in 2013 with all of the stories that impact you as a county resident. From all of us here, we wish you a safe holiday season. And remember, the county offers sober ride services over the holidays. Call this number if you had one too many during the celebrations. Happy holidays.